Welcome back to the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, a coffee-loving mompreneur that started as a virtual assistant and turned into a total systems geek. And I want to help you shift your mindset and embrace your worthiness while creating systems in your business so you can be more productive and build success on your own terms without the mom guilt. Are you loving that? Well, I hope you're ready for real conversations that will help you beat the perfectionist inside, rediscover your strengths, and up-level your self-love in the mom cracks of time so you can stop letting fear hold you back because you are enough and you do enough. We are more than capable mompreneurs. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine and let's dive in. I would like to welcome you to episode 100 of the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm just so excited. So I thought a great way to celebrate this milestone of 100 episodes would be to share some additional lessons that I've learned along this journey, from the creation process, from the wonderful women that I've connected with. It's helped me grow personally, professionally, and definitely has helped me see some changes that I needed to make in my business. But I want to start by saying I'm happy to have you in my community of listeners. You individually are part of a small but mighty group of dedicated listeners. And I really appreciate your support, the testimonials that you have left. You share the episodes, everything that you do to support me on this journey. I'm also grateful for all the amazing women that I've had a chance to chat with on the podcast. And I really hope that you've enjoyed listening and learning from them as well. They have become a valuable part of my community of women who help me continue to grow. We support each other, and it has just been absolutely amazing. Now, if you love what you hear, I do have a favor to ask. Sharing is caring. So please, when an episode resonates with you, post it on social media and tag me. On Instagram, I'm at @the_Shannon Baker. You can share the episodes in Instagram stories. This just helps the women in our community learn about the podcast. And when they come and listen to the episodes because they want to be more productive and they want to build success on their own terms, you posting it is going to encourage them to check out the podcast too. Now, I'm not making this request because I want more downloads, because really to me, that's just a vanity metric. Having a podcast is really a labor of love, and it's a free resource that I'm grateful to be able to put out for you week after week. I know everyone can't necessarily invest in all the things that they need or want for their business or pay for the help that they need to grow their business. So it means a lot to me to be able to share tips and strategies for free with you every week. And it definitely warms my heart to hear that you find the information in the episodes really valuable and useful. Now, over this journey, we have covered some significant ground on a variety of topics. And in the spirit of reflecting on the hard work that I've put in, I sat down and did some reflecting, and I'm going to share some of the insightful moments that I've had with you today. Now, I did a similar reflection in episode 25 of the podcast, but I have learned so much more since then. And some of the things that I've learned are the same, but I've also learned some other things, and they're key to me having the clarity that I needed in my business, which required me to make a shift in my growth strategy. So the first thing I want to share is that you need to take action before you're ready. You know, one of my biggest fears that I had before launching this podcast was that no one was going to listen or would find value in what I had to say, because there were so many other women that talk about the same thing. But that's also one of the things that held me back from launching a podcast 2 years before I actually took action. But the truth is, you're never going to actually be ready when it comes to doing something new. There are a lot of unknowns, so you really have to learn along the way. And if you're a perfectionist in recovery like me, that is absolutely terrifying. I like to be in control as much as I possibly can, but the reality is that's just not realistic. So on this journey, I've learned to make sure that I have an overall plan with a specific and simple goal. My goal for the podcast is to be consistent and to provide value. You really have to be consistent in order for this to work. So I pick the topics that I feel help me stay focused on that goal, and they align with what I feel you need. I don't currently have a bank of episodes because I really needed to think about the purpose of the podcast and my business and make sure that they were aligned for this podcast going into the future and even for my business as well. But I'm still showing up every Wednesday and giving value. Now, I'm juggling a lot of things in the background behind the scenes, but thanks to my strategic plan, I do what I have to do every week to make sure that I show up for you. So again, I'm going to say, start before you're ready. But before you start, make sure you have a plan. The next thing I've learned is it's okay to pivot. Sometimes we get caught up in the day-to-day things, so we don't check in and actually see how things are going. We just kind of put our heads down and keep plowing forward. But one thing that I've learned on the road to 100 episodes is that your life, your goals, and your business are going to change. As I've planned the content for the podcast episodes, I have gained so much clarity, and my business has become much more aligned with my values. As I chat with each guest, I gain clarity and my business has more alignment, like alignment that I didn't even think would happen. Now, I'm going to tell you, at first, when you start this process, you're going to think that you don't have the time to pivot, or you may talk to someone about it and they may judge you. But the truth is, who cares what other people think? If you are learning and growing things, you should change. Your business should change. Everything should evolve. That's just a part of the process. So embrace your growth and make any changes that you need to so that your business is aligned with your core values and supports the lifestyle you desire. After all, that's one of the reasons that you started your business. You're in control, so use it. Don't let fear hold you back from making the needed changes. You will not regret it. Something else I've learned, you need to focus on the big picture. When I launched this podcast, it was hard, but let me tell you, staying consistent and growing this podcast is a lot harder than I thought that would be too. But I'm up for the challenge. And besides, I have some amazing women in my community, and they are the voices that matter to me. I've learned how to figure out who has my best interests at heart, and I appreciate their constructive feedback. I go to them when I need to brainstorm, bounce ideas off of someone, or just when I'm feeling down and need support. Now, sometimes they say things that I don't want to hear, but I know it's coming from a good place, and it has helped me get to where I am today. We all have a mission that is bigger than us, something that we are putting out there to make a big impact. We can also get paid for doing that. We can create things that allow us to go after our goals and our dreams. But the thing is, if you just focus on building a business, being intentional, and pursuing success on your own terms, you aren't going to be fully aligned or fulfilled if you're letting other things, other people, social media define what you need to be doing. You're going to always feel pressure to get to the next benchmark or get to this next place, this next level of income, or making a certain amount of income. And no matter what you achieve, it's not going to feel quite right for you. It's not going to fulfill you. So try flipping the script. Start working towards what you're being called to do in your heart. Focus on that, whether it's through a digital product, your services, launching your own podcast, being a guest on someone else's podcast, or through public speaking. The thing is, once you get in alignment, there is going to be no stopping you. And I know you have it in you. You're not going to be worried about the algorithms, the number of likes you get, or all the other metrics that people say you need to be concerned with, because they're not going to measure your success. When you're in alignment, you're doing what you are meant to do. And although you're not pursuing, fame or fortune or a 7-figure income, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. And it doesn't mean that those things aren't going to happen for you. but they're not the reason why you do what you do. They're just bonuses or perks that happen along the way. And that has been a massive shift for me, and I absolutely love the freedom that it gives me. I'm filled up at the thought that I get to add value to people's lives, to your life, and that has been a focal point for me. I'm proud that over the last 100 episodes, I've been able to help more women be more present in their lives every single day. That they're able to implement systems and business strategies that allow them to make a bigger impact on their own terms. That they have the time that they need to practice more self-care. That is what fills me up. So I'm going to continue to connect you to women that can help you benefit, but it also benefits them by getting their name out there, helps them connect with more women. Women who have expertise that I don't are the ones that I want on the show, the ones that I allow on the show. This is my podcast. I control everything. So the guests that I have, I want you to connect with them because you need them to help you grow. So I'm committed to being here every single week. I refuse to say I'll skip a week, even if that means that I have to work up to the last minute to make sure an episode publishes on time, which I promise I don't do that. But a new episode is going to be live every week. So these are the lessons that I've learned over the past almost 2 years of this journey as a podcaster. I love it. I love the freedom it gives me. I love how it is helping me grow on so many different levels. And I appreciate you. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying, whatever it is that has been on your heart, if fear is holding you back, other people's opinions are holding you back, just start it. Yes, you will learn as you go. Sometimes it will be painful, but the important thing is that you just need to start. And when you need help, don't be afraid to ask. It's not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of genius, because when we all get together and help each other and support each other, that's when we are at our best. So I want to thank you for tuning in, not only to this episode, but to the first 100 episodes. I'm looking forward to the next 100, the next 100 after that. You know, one thing that you can do, though, is share an episode, leave a review. There are no words that can capture how it warms my heart to see the reviews on iTunes or even on the Facebook page for the podcast. So if you really like today's episode, I want you to help me spread the word. Take a screenshot of this episode and share it in Instagram stories to your community. Make sure you tag me at @the_Shannon Baker. Let's join together on this mission and encourage more women to start living their purpose in life, defining their own success and getting paid to do it. Now, if you want to know the other things that I've learned on my journey as a podcaster, make sure you go back and check out episode 25, because I share the top 5 lessons that I learned at the beginning of my journey. Again, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me today, and thank you for all your support over these first 100 episodes. And until next time, keep calm and streamline.